Hello everyone. I am using my new cookbook and I am going to cook these stuffed pork chops for you. Now I've never stuffed anything before in my life, so cutting this open to stuff it is going to be interesting. But it comes out of the Taste of Home Everyday Air Fryer book, and I do see this book at both the Walmarts that I service for my job. So I'm pretty sure it's available at most Walmarts. It costs about $15 and it has over 100 recipes. This is the stuffed pork chops. Here's the recipe. Now, I was looking through my spices and I thought I had marjoram. I do not. I used to. And I did not want to use chicken broth because, excuse me, the chicken bone broth that I made and that I've got already set up is in quart jars and it's only calling for 1/3 of a cup. So I have a not even full pint of pork bone broth over there that I'm going to substitute instead. And white pepper, I got black pepper. I'm not buying white pepper just because of the color. And I don't think I'm going to put parsley in there. I need to be growing more. In fact, I might just grow some stuff underneath my grow lights just because. Anyway, yeah, that does look yummy. And I bought frozen peas to go with it. So out here is all my ingredients set, and it says to go ahead and heat the skillet up to medium high, and we're going to put oil in there and saute the celery and onions. So I'm hoping that this is hot now, and we will go ahead and see if it is. Well, the oil's running, so it's a good sign. Let's go ahead and get this added in here. Now, the recipe does call for 4 pork chops, and I only have 2, so I probably will end up with more mixture than needed. It does also call for 4 slices of white bread. I have this, what is it? This has been our favorite bread so far, is the Aunt Millie's Live 1 Carb Smart 5 Seed. That is really good bread, especially for keto bread. I only got 2 slices of that, and I'm probably going to use less than 1/3 cup of bone broth because of it. But I did slice up the onion. It calls for 1/4 cup, and then 1 stalk of celery. Those I did not change. While that's sauteing over there, I am going to get the peas going, because the peas, obviously the vegetables take longer than the meat does, and so I like to cook it about 10 minutes longer than the actual meat. So I'm trying to see what the temperature is supposed to be and for how long. Oh, preheat air fryer to 325. Oops, gotta turn it on. Start. Okay. Cook for 10 minutes. So that's fine. I'm going to, obviously, like I just said, I'm going to cook the peas 10 minutes longer than the rest of it. So we'll let that preheat. Actually, I could go ahead and just get this out of here, load it up with the peas, and then stick it in there. It's not going to hurt anything. Oh, we'll give them a little spray up top. All right, with the avocado oil. Bottom rack. Now, I have cooked vegetables with meat a couple times, and this is a conclusion I've come up with, is I cook the vegetables underneath. That way the drippings from the meat can fall on the vegetables and give more flavor and protect the heating elements underneath. So we'll let that handle. I gotta stir that. I'll talk to you about the avocado oil after I stir. So if you didn't watch my last video on updates and tips and tricks and things I've acquired, avocado oil I find does not really smoke in the air fryer. There's a significant less amount of smoke in the air fryer. Now, no matter how I adjust this regular sprayer, it just shoots straight. And so it wasn't really spreading it out enough, so I went ahead and bought this. This is only like halfway full when you buy it, guys, for $3.50. That whole bottle of avocado oil right here was $7. So there's like more than twice the amount. You're saving money when you buy the bulk. So I found on Amazon an oil sprayer for the kitchen that I went ahead and ordered. It's like $12. There's other ones on there. Some people like it, some people don't. But that's what I ordered. It's going to come Monday, so I don't have to deal with this anymore. So I'm excited for that. So I'll have to get this done kind of quickly because I still have to open the pork and chop it. I mean, cut the pork open and stuff it, chop it. What am I talking about? So like I said, I'm down to 2 slices of bread. So salt, sage, pepper. How much sage? 1/8 of a teaspoon. So just a light sprinkle. It's kind of tastes like stuffing with all these herbs in it, is my thinking. Okay, and then how much thyme? 1/8 teaspoon dried thyme. I do not have dried thyme, but I do have this fresh thyme I just picked from the garden. Stick that in there. Okay, and then I guess salt and pepper. And, oh, the bone broth, that's right. Pepper. And bone broth. So, I'm just going to stick a little bit in there. So it's 1/3 of a cup if you're using 4 slices of bread and 4 pork chops. But yeah, obviously I already said I'm not doing that. We'll let that bread soak up the juice while we get our pork chops out and sliced open. Okay. Now it says to cut them horizontally, almost to the bone. So you're wanting to create pockets in there. So I think that looks like a decent pocket. Maybe I can cut a little bit more. Okay, that one looks good. And then that one looks good. Let's stuff them. First of all, we have to spray the basket rack. So just putting a nice light avocado oil mist on it. Then it also suggests that we seal them with toothpicks if necessary, so I did bring some toothpicks out. Let's get these bad boys stuffed. Whoa, stuffed. Yeah, I'm pretty sure these will need sealed. It's all right. Up and back through. So I'm kind of going down. Whoops, get that thyme out of the way. And back up over from underneath. Ooh, unless you break a toothpick, then that doesn't work. We'll just stuff those in there straight. That'll work. All right, let's try it again with this one. Oh, I almost forgot to stuff it. That would have been no bueno. try to keep all the contacts in your stuffed pork chop. It's easier said than done. All right. Get them wrapped. All right, we're just about the 10-minute mark, so I'm going to go ahead and pause this and get my meat thrown in there. Oh, it did say to sprinkle it with salt and pepper. Okay, it's sprinkled with salt and pepper. Now I'm going to slap it in there. All right, we will let that go for 10 minutes and then turn and cook until a thermometer inserted of stuffing reads 165. I may or may not get the thermometer out. This isn't my first day cooking pork, and I know what done pork looks like. But after I turn it over, it says 6 to 8 minutes longer. We're going to go with 6 minutes because I do not have 4 pork chops on there. All right, it's done. The first half. So let me get it flipped over and stuck back in. I've learned to take the the bottom tray where I usually store the vegetables out with it because of drippage and stuff. It just makes for easier cleanup and whatever. There's one. Does it want to move? Because the toothpicks are stuck between the basket grates. Okay. Tricky, tricky. Oh. One. This one's going to be easier because they're flatter. The toothpicks are. Okay, second one. Still looking a little bloody. We may go ahead and shoot for that 8 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and say it's safe to go for the 8 minutes instead. See you when it's done. It didn't have much longer to go anyway. Not too concerned about it, but we do at least need to get one of these plated. I'm not seeing any redness. Well, I am seeing a little bit right there. Let's just go check real quick, make sure it's done. Now, it could be cooked a little bit longer, so we're going to go ahead and stick it in there for like 2 or 3 more minutes. But see, it doesn't say necessarily what kind of a pork chop. It says pork rib chops, but then it tells you down there and what you get in the store, and I don't know. It's all variable. So, start this all up again. Oop, too low, too high. Time. I'm going to put it on for 3 minutes. And I don't want to overcook it. Pork is very finicky if you overcook it. It is tough. It is Chevy tough. Or whatever tough vehicle you could think of. So we don't necessarily want that. So I don't want to overcook. I think 3 minutes is going to set it off nice. And we'll let it rest in the air fryer oven. And I'm sure it will be delicious. Ryan, welcome home from work. Alright, the stuffed pork chops are done. I stuck them in there for 3 minutes longer since it still looked a little pink. And, well, it looks better. Now let me cut into it again. Still just the tiniest bit shade of pink. I'm going to go ahead and stick it in there for 2 more minutes. So that's very important, is to make sure you're checking your food, making sure it's thoroughly cooked, but you don't want to overcook it, so that's why we go in these small increments like that on timing when we're cooking it for longer to finish it off, especially pork. Now let's take another look. Oh yeah, it's done. It's going to rest for, I'm going to let it rest for 5 minutes before we cut into it and eat it. But obviously Ryan's home and I'm going to enjoy time with him. So there will be no taste test for this. But you can see the juices running out of the top of this pork chop here, which is incredible. Look at that beauty. And then we'll pull out this one. chips, which that one wants to pull because of the wax paper down below. And see, I like my vegetables overcooked. I don't like al dente broccoli. Give it to me raw or give it to me cooked. I don't like that in-between thing that they got going on with that, like, kind of cooked steamed broccoli. Alright, guys. There's some peas on Ryan's plate. I'll give him a little bit more. I have more peas to cook, but there's dinner. Take the toothpicks out, maybe. I gotta flip it over to take the other toothpicks out. Oh, it's hot. Duh. It just came out of the air fryer. That one's kind of embedded in there. But it's all cooked and looks juicy and wonderful and looks like a great dinner. So thank you everybody for watching. Again, this recipe is stuffed pork chops and it comes out of the Taste of Home Everyday Air Fryer 100 Plus Recipes for Weeknight Ease recipe book found at Walmart for about $15. And as always, I love you and so does Jesus. God bless.